Hi guys, Archie Luxury channel, and today I'd like to talk about Australia Post. Now before I do that, I'd like you to like, subscribe, tell your friends, and also look in the description for 10 ways to keep me full-time on YouTube. Okay, now what I want to talk about is Australia Post. And in Australia, we've got Australia Post, and we've got EMS, Express Mail Service, which has become Express Courier International. And I want to tell you a story about a number of years ago. This is a number of years ago. And I want to tell you this story. What happened is I sold my Explorer 2. This was my Polar. Sold my Polar. And I took the money and I was sending it to the United States of America. That's right. It was going to America. And I posted it EMS, as you do, because EMS is the best postal service by the post office. And I posted it. And he doesn't get it. We're tracking it. And it kind of falls out of the system. And I gotta tell you this story. It's pretty tricky stuff. So I kept ringing them up. Where the hell is my parcel? And, you know, I gotta be honest with you. I was doing a call center job. It's hard to ring every day. 10 o'clock in the morning, ring every day to check what's going on, because people can kind of hear what you're doing. And I got to be honest with you there. It really hurt. You know, you got to be careful you don't get busted at work making personal calls. And in all honesty, what happened? What happened? Well, the thing went missing. It went AWOL. And eventually, they found it. It had gone missing. It had gone up to Toowoomba, which is a really interesting way from Brisbane to, you'd think you would go to Sydney and then go on a big jumbo jet to America. But no, it decided to go to Toowoomba. Now, the reason I'm telling you this story is because what the whole thing is, when someone in these companies, i.e. FedEx, Australia Post, United States Parcel Service, any of these big firms, they normally don't pinch it and go. They kind of just, it's like the delivery guy who just puts the parcel to the side. It fell under the driver's seat. And if you kick a big enough stink, you could possibly get it back. And this is the whole thing. This is the thing, is that you've got to be so tenacious. You've got to be pushy and aggressive. You've got to be, I mean, I don't really like to be rude or swear at these people because, you know, I mean, these places are so impersonal. You ring up, they say, oh, it's Dave, or it's Jan, or it's Mahindra, or it's Muhammad. You know, you ring up these places and they're very, very impersonal. They don't really have that personal level of service. And what they're trying to do is have something so that they can just tell you to piss off and you lost your money. See you later! See you later. But you've got to keep the pressure up. When something goes missing, you've got to ask, can I please speak to your manager, the supervisor? And you've got to keep pushing it as hard as you can. Because the squeaky wheel gets the oil, except in Archie's studio. And this is the whole thing. You've got to be persistent and ring every day to chase. And this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. So I mean, EMS, Express, Courier International, Australia Post, they are useless. They are useless. They are really, really hopeless, lazy sons of bitches. They really don't care. They really don't give a shit. And, you know, they try and get you to sort of, you know, they're just awful. It's just awful. And I got to be honest with you, you know, many years before that incident, this is in the late 90s, but I sold my Explorer 1, sent it EMS, it was Express Mail Service then, EMS to America, insured it. I insured it for the max, which I think was $4,000 and something dollars. And sure enough, the good friends in the Chicago Mail Center, they pinched it. They pinched it. And that's the mob. The mafia pinched it in Chicago, okay? In the Chicago Mail Center, it's run by the mafia. Well, it was in the late 90s. And, you know, I got really shitty. I was ringing them up, abusing. I was working for myself. I could spend an hour or two on the phone abusing the shit out of them. And eventually I had 2 senior Australia Post people came out to my office to see me. And I told them, and they asked me what it was, and they said, okay, you had $4,000 worth of insurance, and it was actually worth $8,000. We'll give you the $8,000. Oh, why is that? And it's because I kept pushing them. I said to them, okay, I want my money. I want my insured money, but I also want to press charges. I want a police report. They quietly told me that it may not be best to do that. That's right, Australia Post is scared of the Chicago Mafia. They are scared of the goons. And I gotta tell you, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say anymore. What the hell is this world coming to? I mean, America, the Chicago Mafia runs the postal service in Chicago Airport. Australia Post has got staff who push parcels to the side. If you kick up a big enough stink, you'll get your parcel. I mean, it's just dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. And technically, you sign the form, we are not common carriers. We are not bound to any liability or caretaker, no responsibility assumed. And I got to tell you, it's a bloody terrible way of doing business. It's very, very, it's painful. It really, really hurts when you see this. Very nasty world we live in. It's, you can't trust FedEx. You can't trust Express, Courier International, EMS, Express Mail Service through the post office. You can't trust any of these sons of bitches. And always remember, you know, we are not common carriers. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not a sane human. You understand? I'm not a sane human. I don't want my money back. I just want to ring you every day and abuse the shit out of you. That's what it comes down to. And I mean, sometimes this can start to impact your personal life. I mean, you can get fired from your job. You can have all sorts of, you know, you've got to handle it properly. And you got to be careful what you do. It's a nasty, vicious world. So there you go. That's my Express Courier International. Just be damn careful when you send anything. And if you look at the fine print, they don't cover jewelry or watches, by the way. They don't cover jewelry or watches. So, yeah, that's right. That's how it goes there. So it's very dangerous. And I got to be honest with you, anything really expensive, $10,000 watch, I got to hand deliver it. hand deliver it, pick up the cash. Paddocks, I wouldn't even dream of sending a paddock in the mail service. You've got to really have rocks in your head to do. And I've done it in the past, but I can't. My ticker can't handle the stress these days, that's for sure. So, Express Courier International. Express Courier International. Be careful! There are thieves everywhere! Archie Luxury, signing out. And you bastards at the Chicago Mail Center, I gotcha! I got you covered! I know where you buggers live! Big Tony in the family at Chicago there, yeah, it's no worries. It's just comic relief, Big Tony. Don't worry about it, okay? I got my money, I don't give a shit, okay? So, Big Tony, I'm just bluffing!